So this collection really is an extraordinary presentation of the best, really, of the last 80 years in art history. It presents the most extraordinary masterpieces by sort of the most historic artists working in that period. We have Mark Rothko here, we have Willem de Kooning, Andy Warhol, Gerhard Richter, and it's an amazing sort of progression on from what we just saw in November, when the first offering from this collection was presented for sale. They really present sort of almost a prefiguration of sort of a death mask for the artist. So that's a really serious, heavyweight series of paintings that he created in 1986. And this one hasn't been seen since its exhibition in that show at Anthony Doffé Gallery back then. So it's a great unveiling. It's really extraordinarily fresh. The colours are just immense, and it has this incredible dichotomy between sort of the artist in a very stark, full frontal position, juxtaposed with this camouflage. With this series of works, as throughout his career, he was really looking to install himself along the pantheon of other icons that he created throughout his career that became Warhol icons. So Marilyn Monroe, Liz, Jackie, Marlon Brando, Elvis, and he's really looking to kind of insert himself into that dialogue. And this series is incredible because it's his last sort of contribution to that pursuit. It narrates a point where he'd reached his mature stride. He really did sort of cement what he was doing in the 1950s, and the work that we offered in November from the same collection really sort of epitomizes that moment in Rothko's career. Fast forward to 1960, and he's sort of completely nailed what he's doing, and he knows sort of his aesthetic and the idea of colour fields, but he's changing the mood and he's changing his use of colour and really going towards these quite melancholic, sort of very deep reds and blues, plums and purples, and they're very, very sort of contemplative. This work by Gerhard Richter, Seascape from 1975, is just breathtaking. It's extraordinary. It's like a romantic painting by Caspar David Friedrich crossed with an abstract composition. It's just Richter at his very finest. And it's sort of the high point of Richter in the 1970s. And it really narrates the fantastic sort of progression that he made from doing the photorealistic paintings of the 1960s through to his abstractions of the 1980s. And it's the seascapes that really kind of cement this turning point for Richter.
Dat is een